Brewers Live on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Freighters and the Medical College of Wisconsin.
Hey, everybody.
5 facilities. Break breadsticks with us. And by Menards. Save big money on Menards and for all your home improvement needs. Back to Yankee Stadium. It is game 3 of this series between the Yankees and Brewers. Milwaukee pressing to get a victory here. It's going to be Aaron Civale on the hill against Marcus Stroman. Looking forward to this. Couple of veteran right-handers on the bump, and both these guys, it's going to be interesting. Stroman kind of looking for a bounce back, where Civale is trying to build on some real positive things the second half of the season when he became a Brewer in 2024.
Yeah, what you're going to see is a lot of sliders. You're going to see a lot of stuff. I mean, we know they can go north and south, up and down. Civale will do that. Stroman will stay mostly at the bottom of the zone, but there's going to be action. You're not going to see a lot of strikeouts, not going to see a lot of walks. It's going to be pitching into the zone. I think it's going to come down. This one's going to come down to defense. And we saw some sloppy defense in yesterday's ball game, kind of all the way around. Brewers, 4 of those 9 runs were unearned. So you start looking at how they're going to put together runs right here. It's going to have to be put the ball in play, get on base, in the Brewers brand of baseball, stealing bases, even though Marcus Stroman is actually really good at holding runners.
It is kind of interesting. The first 2 games of the season, the 2 Gold Glovers are the ones that have the first 2 errors for Milwaukee. Isn't that just how it all works out? Maybe Terang and maybe Sal Frelick won't have any more for quite some time, but here they won these Gold Gloves and came out. The good news is, Tim, we see these errors. They're so rare, and it really hasn't cost the team yet.
Well, there's a lot of oddities. You can go around the horn. I mean, whether it's Gold Glovers making errors or the Yankees hitting a whole bunch of bombs off of a former teammate he was just on their team, and the first game he plays is against his old team. And then you go to Jackson Churio. Guy strikes out 5 times, the Platinum Sombrero or the Olympic gold ring, the Jackson 5. And you're like, what is going on? Never happened in his life. And then all of a sudden he bounces back and has a good game in game 2.
Indeed. All right, speaking of Jackson Churio, I want to talk about him because he did have a great bounce back game in game 2. Couple of hits for him, got his first RBI, scored his first run as well. This after the 5 strikeouts on opening day. And this is like typical Jackson Churio. One bad game, one great game. It just seems to go that way. He doesn't stay down, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like he has no idea what he did the game before. Because he just goes out there and acts, have a great swing, great approach. We saw the ball. He shot to the right side, and we see the rocket that he hit to the left side. He's covering all fields. For him, it's about putting the ball in play. I mean, how many times we see him, hit a swinging butt and then beat it out? He's gonna win because he makes a lot of contact, and he's gonna win because he uses his legs. He's an all-encompassing player. But yeah, not in the leadoff spot in this one against Stroman.
Yep, indeed. And Churio's been starting in that outfield the first 3 games. Yelich has been the DH. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that, especially early on here this season as Christian Yelich recovers from his back surgery that put him out the second half. Off to a pretty good start here, though. So looking for some good things from the Brew Crew here out in New York, looking for their first win of the season. Jeff Rock and Sophia at the call. Enjoy it. Let's work together.
Let's take everything we know about cancer
Every care.
and turn months into years.
Let's share what we learn. Share how we feel.
Let's cry about it. Be brave about it.
Use it to fuel discovery.
Comfort. Strength.
Promise. Let's remember what it was like before cancer and push to bring that feeling back. Life is defined by moments. In those moments, student athletes at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater shine. With world-class facilities and coaching staff, we set our Warhawk athletes up for success in the classroom, in the community, and in competition. Through our championship culture, we prepare you to make an impact in the future. Learn more about the Warhawk Athletics family at uw.edu/athletics.
Kennedy 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Start your garden off right with quality seeds from Murphy. Choose from over 450 varieties of flowers, vegetables, and herbs. Right now, all Murphy seed packets are on sale. plus an 11% rebate. Help maintain the beauty of your yard and garden with help from Yardworks. They offer a variety of hoses, great for any task. Get your garden started with this 50-foot soaker hose for $11.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money in your life.
After a serious truck wreck, you need a team who knows how to handle trucking issues and gets results. You need Gruber Law. There's never a fee until we win. Gruber offices. One call, that's all.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger.
You're watching FanDuel Sports Network, the home of the Brewers and Bucks.
Brewers baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting. Back in the Bronx, it's the Brewers and the Yankees wrapping up this 3-game weekend series to open up the 2025 season. Aaron Savali is going to make the start for the Brewers. He was outstanding for the crew in his final 14 starts of the year. He hits the ball and trying to keep the ball in the ballpark against this New York Yankees team that hit 9 home runs in the contest yesterday. They rounded that 20-9 victory, 9 home runs, a franchise record for the New York Yankees. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the ballpark with Bill Schroeder and Sophie Minner down the field. Jeff Levering with you. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. And Rockets Aaron Savali, key number one for him. Keep the ball in the ballpark. The weather, I think, today is going to play a big factor in that. But Aaron really did a great job last year of stabilizing this rotation.
Yeah, 14 starts. In the first quarter, trying to settle in a little bit. But what he was able to do in his last 9 starts was really coming in the cutter. The cutter was a big hits for him. You want to talk about all those home runs for the Yankees in yesterday's ball game. A lot of them coming on fastball early in the count. So Savali should have a pretty good day of it today. He's able to command the curveball. They say he's got 7 pitches in his repertoire. So we'll see how he's going to be able to keep this Yankees team off balance. His career has never been all that great against the Yankees. He's due for a good start against the Bronx Bombers.
Well, Aaron Judge hit 3 of those 9 home runs yesterday. One of just a handful of Yankees that have ever had a 3-homer game. He was unreal in the contest.
He's got to be one of the most intimidating guys you're going to have to face. I mean, big, strong, powerful. He's a 5-tool guy that can do anything. And you know you have to get all of it to hit it out of the ballpark. He had the ball about 470 feet yesterday. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs out of the curve for Judge. Those 8 runs batted in. The Yankees were all over the Brewers in yesterday's game. So when you're talking about the New York Yankees, you're not talking about an upstart organization. They've been around a while. Look at this the list that Judge is on. I mean, the names on this list are incredible. Aaron Judge, 3 home run games. It's been amazing to watch this guy. And hopefully Savali is going to be able to keep him up balance today, keeping the ball flying.
That's our advanced stat brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. 40 multi-homer games for Aaron Judge in his great career that is still on the rise. It's the Brewers and the Yankees. A series finale from Yankee Stadium is coming your way next.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
This is the legendary right here. But this can could talk. It tells stories. And if you've had one, you probably got a story worth telling. Here's the 50 years military.
This is not a blue moon. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. A Valencia orange makes a blue moon, and everything a little brighter.
My name's Stacy. I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020.
We were adopted in 2019.
And we were adopted in 2021.
We had a house, and it sounds crazy, but it wasn't a home. The one thing that Jake and Emma brought is it became a home.
When I met Dakota, he had just turned 14.
You weren't there for the first this, and the first that, and his first words. But we got a lot of other firsts.
Watching her say, "Oh my God, I cannot believe I got my license," and she's like, "I'm fine," but I'm like, "Girl."
See them grow. It is.
They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Them.
You and you. Kids in the middle. What I thought was a complete lie was nowhere near complete, but it is now.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Moments ago, class move by the New York Yankees, paying a tribute to the legend, Bob Uecker.
Before the playing of today's national anthem, please join the New York Yankees and the Milwaukee Brewers in a moment of silence. We remember Brewers' legendary broadcaster, Bob Uecker, who passed away in January. Mr. Baseball, as he was affectionately known, spent 70 years in the game, which included being a member of the St. Louis Cardinals' 1964 World Championship team. After retiring from playing, Bob would spend 54 years in the Brewers broadcast booth, becoming the heart of Milwaukee baseball and the sound of summer in the Midwest. Bob was always the funniest person in the room and an outstanding ambassador for our national pastime. In addition to his broadcasting career, Bob appeared in TV shows, movies, and a series of commercials, helping to make him a national icon. We'll never forget his famous catchphrases: "I must be in the front row," and "just a bit outside." Bob was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2003 as the Ford C. Frick Award recipient. The entire game of baseball joins the Brewers in mourning his loss. Bob Uecker was 90 years old.
Back inside Yankee Stadium, great tribute to an even better man than Bob Uecker, and there will be plenty of tributes tomorrow for the Brewers home opener against the Kansas City Royals. A 1:10 start time, 1 hour Brewers Live coming your way before the start of tomorrow's contest against the Kansas City Royals. It will be emotional to say the least.
Time that day goes by, spring training or irregular season, the first 3 games that you don't think about you and you don't feel the questions around the ballpark about you and how everybody's doing. He is missed. That's an understatement. And it's going to be a rough summer without him for the fans in Wisconsin.
First game back at American Family Field without him since game number 3 of the wild card series last year, the last game that he would ever call. Well, the Brewers today try and get in the win column for the first time in 2025. Pat Murphy in his starting lineup today. Murph, again, trying to get win number 1 here in 2025. And his starting lineup brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. It's Terrain, Churio, and Yelich, Contreras, Frelick, and Bowers, Mitchell, Ortiz, and Dunn. Round out there starting 9. You get a familiar phone right here.
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman. Finally get a right-hander to face, Rock.
Hey, the first 2 games of the series, left-hander started for the Yankees. Marcus Stroman, the veteran, he's been around Blue Jays, Mets, Cubs, now Yankees. He had a 10-9 record with the Bronx Bombers a year ago with 29 starts.
Really good in his first few starts in the season. Not so great in his last dozen. Bryce Terang digs in. And Stroman into his lineup, and off we go in game 3.
Drag right there.
It's going to be a big thing for Stroman. It's gone down each of the last couple of seasons. The first pitch in 89. And tight with a couple.
I'm tight.
Yesterday, 81 wind blowing out today. Maybe in the 50s and wind blowing out.
Dropping 50 degrees in one day. It dropped 30 degrees in about 20 minutes last night. I wonder how that's going to affect the pitching. Hitters really don't like this kind of weather. Ball doesn't jump off their bat as well. And we'll see how it all works out today.
By the time the Brewers team bus left the ballpark and by the time it got to the hotel, it was down at least 30 degrees. Here's the 1-2.
1-2. Single.
And Marcus Stroman doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. He only had a 17% strikeout rate a year ago, one of the lowest of any starter in the big leagues. Got that sinker up in the strike zone. Bryce Terang does what he does best and takes it to the opposite field. See that ball stayed up a little bit. Might have been the cutter. He's got 7 different pitches, so if we misidentify a pitch, you understand why.
On both sides, Somali and Stroman throw a ton of different variations. Toss the first and back is Terang. Doing a roll call near the Yankee Stadium. They've already made their way to shortstop and their acknowledgments. Jackson Churio on the 2 spot today. And takes a wide strike one.
One of the few times in this series that he's taken the first pitch. He's
Wow.
It's 7 of his first 11 plate appearances so far this year. Not that time.
It's another strike right on that outside corner.
Yankee.
Both sides. Could be a good day to pitch for him tomorrow.
Yeah, you bet. Well, take a little bit off the edge, too close to take.
Oh, and 2, here comes.
On 2, down low.
That was the slider from Stroman.
Many pitches that he throws, he likes to put hitters away with a split-fingered fastball. You name it, he throws it. He makes it up out there. Different velocities on everything.
Good old-fashioned Cherry Diner special out there on the mound. And a swing and a foul at home plate.
Swing and foul.
Our favorite breakfast diners in the National League circuit, Pittsburgh.
Kitchen sink omelet.
It's about $5.
Yeah, it's good. Really good. 2-2 now on Jackson Churio.
What kind of breakfast can you get in New York City for $5?
You might be able to get some roasted peanuts on the side of the street, a little bag,
A couple of pats of butter.
sugar wrapper too. Just missed. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
See if the Brewers haven't been able to get the running game going, really. They've found themselves trailing for the majority of this series. Not led in the set yet. 3-2. Terang goes. Fly ball, center field, well struck.
Well struck.
On the warning track, he makes the catch. Up against the wall, it's a home run and then some.
Yeah,
any other day.
And wind's blowing in. Unfortunately for Churio, he hit that one really well. That would have been 450 plus in yesterday's game. And the wind held that one up. 44 degrees in game time today. Wind blowing in. And that's what kept this in the ballpark. This catch went Belgium at the center.
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman saying, I'm so glad I started today and not yesterday. Yelich hits one to right. Short porch out there. Judge. In foul ground. Almost, but he makes the turn on the line.
Wow.
Marcus Stroman, no stranger to facing the Brewers. Numbers brought to you by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. Those are his last couple of appearances. See the walk numbers there, Rock. Those are very inflated.
Yeah. And again, I mean, so far in this game, the first three hitters, the Brewers have been able to elevate his fastball. Pitch a lot of grounders.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. He mixes, matches, different speeds with everything.
Come on in. If you're watching that Pete McDivitt show.
The off single by Turank, still at first.
You got to prove to Stroman that you're not going to be swinging at pitches off the edges, because if you show him that he's going to do that, they're going to do that, he's going to just wear you out just off the corners. Got to make him throw strikes.
Toss the first. Turank was leading, able to get back. 50 steals a year ago for Bryce Turank. Contreras picked up his first hit of the season yesterday, a double off the wall and right. He's had 2 balls to strike.
He's ahead 2 balls and a strike.
Good running count for Turank right here, 2-1.
Extends his lead by half a step. There he goes. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base. And it is into center field. It's a steal for Bryce Turank.
Steal for Bryce Turank.
Man, he doesn't get thrown out too often. He had a really good lead, good jump, and had a very good throw. That might blocked it well. Doesn't even bother looking in. Slides to the outfield side of the bat to make the tag a little bit longer. Good scoring position now for Contreras. Good take. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Stolen base numbers a year ago. See him right there, number 3 in the big leagues.
Yeah, pitch.
And he missed wide.
Walk.
Second with 2 away. And brings up South Freeland off to a good start this season.
That's some pretty good takes right there by Contreras. You know, the breaking pitch is just off the corners. You got to lay off them.
South Freeland, 3 for his first 7 this year, was on base 3 times yesterday. In the number 5 spot for Pat Murphy. And a wheel back towards second base. First disengagement for Stroman. Caught the outside corner with a sinker.
Out the outside corner with a sinker.
Just a couple a year ago, the games in May. Didn't homer again until game 3 of the wild card series. Big conversation about him bulking up in the offseason. Ground ball right side base hit. Turank sent around third. Judge has it. His throw is going to be cut off. 1-0 Brewers on the night.
1-0. Cool.
They get to take advantage when Stroman gets up in the strike zone, which he
I'm just dealing with the sore throat.
with a guy like Marcus Stroman. You get him early, you might not get him at all. That pitch up looked like a 4-seamer right down the middle at only 90. And Freeland able to find a hole in the right field. Easy run with Turank on the bases. He scores easily, and the Brewers take a lead.
First lead of the season for the Brewers. And Sal Frelick with his first run batted in. Jake Bowers making his first start of the season. Takes strike 1. He's starting.
Takes strike 1.
Hoskins getting the day off today. Not great career numbers for Hoskins against Stroman. So Bowers, left-handed bat in there. Yeah, Bauer's down to the count on 2. He's doubled and
Oh, God.
this season. Bauer's hit the numbers last year. Runners in scoring position at 2 outs.
And made some adjustments in the offseason with his swing.
And he swings and misses. And a slugger. Bauer's gone on 3 pitches, but the Brewers get a run. Give Aaron Savali a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the first.
Introducing 2 new Baja Chipotle subs featuring our world famous Baja Chipotle sauce. Listen, that's the Baja Chipotle talking. Well, but you know what I mean. Find your fresh with a new Baja Chipotle collection
Nah.
Subway.
What do you got there, Larry? Time machine? You gonna go back and see how the pyramids were built or something?
Nope. Ellen and I want to go on vacation, so I'm going to go back to last week and buy a winning lottery ticket. Can I come? Only room for 1. How am I getting home? Sitting on my lap like last time, Ronald.
Fine, but I'm bringing this.
All right.
Or you could try one of these savings options.
The right money moves aren't as far-fetched as you think.
There it is. See? Told you it's going to all work out. Thanks, future me.
There are those who wait for the storm to pass, and those who drive a Ford Bronco Sport with 5 standard yoke modes and 4x4 capability across the entire lineup. It's no wonder why Bronco Sport is cheating over a small SUV vehicle quality, while Mother Nature might be unpredictable. With a Ford Bronco Sport, you'll be ready. Choose FlexBuy and a new Ford Bronco Sport and with 3.9% APR for 66 months, plus 1,000 FlexBuy cash, plus 1,000 open bonus cash. Only at your local Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Thanks to the stylish hotel on Booking.com, even Giants fans are loving it.
No, where are you going to miss with her rivals?
Where'd they go?
They were just here. It was full of rivals.
With so many choices, you can be a fan of any U.S. city. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Early 1-0 lead for the Brewers. Sal Frelick with an RBI single. Aaron Boone and the Yankees have been swinging it early. 20 runs yesterday. Of course, won the American League pennant last year, lost in the World Series with the Dodgers. His starting lineup today brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Goldschmidt back in the leadoff spot. Bellinger and Judge to follow. Chisholm, Volpe, and Wells. Dominguez, Ben Rice, and then Oswaldo Cabrera rounds up their starting lineup. Against Aaron Savali, Rock was really good, especially in his last 9 starts in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but it's not appearances for the Brewers. He was really good. Good record, good earned run average. Took him a while to get settled in as a Brewer. You can see his numbers overall. What a difference for him coming from Tampa and then into Milwaukee. He really took advantage of the coaching staff here with the Brewers.
Established career highs in a number of categories as Goldschmidt ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. So no history repeating itself today. The first 3 pitches.
2-0.
Game got hit on the ball.
Come on, guys.
2-0 now from Savali. And he lands strike 1.
Strike 1.
That was a big pitch for Savali last year. Found him in command with it. And got a lot of success against opposing hitters.
Yeah, put a penny after the cutter with the Brewers, 160. Pretty much the same usage of that pitch as a Tampa Bay Ray, but the batting average against him, a cutter with Tampa, was over 300. So he found something with that pitch, and it made a big difference.
And 3-1 against Goldschmidt. It's a foul. And the count finished up. There was that cutter. He's got just enough movement on the way from those right-handed hitters to miss the barrels.
That's the different looks out of the hands of both of these starting pitchers. Both of them have 7 different pitches listed.
It's a good thing they have the pitch comp system. Not enough fingers that lay down if you're a catcher.
Yeah, take your glove off and you're calling a game.
Payoff. And a base hit for Goldschmidt.
Base hit.
Leadoff single for the Yankees. Defense brought to you by Landmark Credit Union. Rock.
Brewers in defense. Cheerio, Mitchell, and Frelick in the outfield. Same group as the first 2 games of this series. Oliver Dunn gets his first start over at third base. Ortiz trying up the middle. Jake Bowers at first. And once again behind home plate, Williams and Turf.
There's Dunn over at third with the right-hander on the mound to start. Get his left-handed bat in there. Couple of ABs yesterday late. There's Bellinger. Ball 1. Bellinger's had a really good series. 4
There he is.
base a ton. He's driven in 5 runs already. 2-3 spots in the order yesterday for the Yankees, drove in 12.
Oh, damn.
2 balls, no strikes. It's Savannah for the second straight. They were falling behind 2-0. This is a very formidable lineup that the league's going to have to deal with this year. And Giancarlo Stanton's not even playing. And 3-0 on Bellinger.
3-0 on Bellinger.
Pizza Ranch, what do you think I'm going to say about today's game as opposed to yesterday? I mean, did it really take a genius? Keep it in the yard today, guys. 9 home runs allowed by the Brewers pitching staff yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, if the ball Jackson Churio hit in the first inning is any indication, it's going to take a Herculean shot to get it out. Everyone on Bellinger. That's driven.
Foul ball.
And off the side of the third deck. Strike 2.
Strike 2.
Just a loud strike. Bellinger will use his timeouts here, and Judge looming next. 4 hits, 3 of them homers yesterday. Bellinger fouls it away. Let that fastball up out over the plate. Pretty good pitch there. Just a little bit hyped it. Goldschmidt stationary over at first base, held on by Bowers. To center.
To center.
And now racing in is Garrett Mitchell to make the catch.
Mitchell makes the catch.
That's a ball that yesterday, you never know, but today, very routine in the shallow center. On Monday, in the driver's seat, brings Aaron Judge to the plate. Has enjoyed hitting against the Brewers. 400 batting average, 8 homers, 19 RBIs, an OPS of almost 1,500. 3 of those 8 homers yesterday, and a career high 8 RBIs.
Huh.
What kind of day?
Yeah.
Missed his 4th home run by what? About 3 feet? Maybe the right field? Well, even in his last plate appearance against his former teammate Jake Bowers, hit it on the screws, but that's right, Jake Bowers got it in him. He put up a 0 and line down to the warning track. That just missed.
Ball.
Just such a patient hitter. He doesn't chase too much. Got to throw him strikes.
Yeah.
That one lands at the bottom of the zone.
Strike right there. 1 to the count.
Came on fastball early in counts and yesterday. So you got to figure Shabali was keeping an eye on that. Got to make sure he hadn't landed those breaking pitches. Those off-speed pitches are going to be big for him today. High, no throw from Contreras. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The amazing part about Judge yesterday, he had 3 homers, 8 RBIs. Last season, through 24 games, Judge had just 3 homers and 11 runs batted in. Almost had that in one day. Just missed. Really good pitch and a good idea from Savant. I guess if there's one spot you might want to concentrate on the Judge is in, but you better not miss out over the plate. And you prefer to go up and in. You have to have something on it as well. Another 3-2. Judge to the left. He's got another one. Wow. What an opening weekend for Aaron Judge.
Son of a bitch. Speaking of the devil.
Fourth home run of the series. He's got 11 runs batted into the first 3.
I know.
We talk about you got to hit him with fastballs, and if you do that, you better inside that pitch right down the middle of the plate. Center cut. And that's what he's really going to do to that pitch. About 90 miles an hour. See ya.
Lead short-lived for the Brewers. Jet swing even around to Jazz Chisholm. And it's 0-1. Guy makes it look easy, doesn't he? Just effortless. What a show he puts on. Chisholm, even now, the ball on the strike. Chisholm homered yesterday, was part of the 9-homer barrage. First time the Yankees in their long franchise history hit 9 home runs in a single game. It's the first time any team had hit 9 homers in a game since 1999. The Cincinnati Reds did it. Chisholm tried to hit another one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The common link. Yankees manager Aaron Boone hit one of those home runs for that 1999 Reds team. Had 1 and 2.
I had 1 and 2.
Deep counts to Goldschmidt, Bellinger, Chelich, and now Chisholm. And a lot made of the bats that were being used by the Yankees yesterday, the torpedo bats.
They dropped the sweet spot of the barrel of the bat a little bit lower to avoid getting jammed.
Popped up third base side and foul. When you look at it, they've been using these bats all season now. They've redesigned them in the offseason. The Yankees designed them to the best possible spot for that player's swing. See, Volpe's got it. Chisholm, Bellinger using one. That one's popped up.
And it is MLB approved. So, yes, indeed, it is legal. Adhere to the specifications. They're very strict with the specifications of bats. It lowers the barrel. So you wonder if the area that is normally the barrel, the sweet spot, if that has changed. So if you hit what was normally on the sweet spot, you can see a little bit more of a barrel on it, lower on the back.
Sweet spot, typically you see those baseball marks on what normally would be the regular sweet spot. Swing and a miss, and Chisholm's gone on strikes out number 2.
Sweet spot about where the upper blue mark on that bat.
Yeah.
Missed all of the sweet spot on this one.
There's that cutter, not exactly where he wanted it, but it was a big uppercut by Jeff.
Yeah.
So brings Volpe to the plate. He's homered in each of the first 2 games for the Yankees. And a lot of the
Come on over. You're watching the Pete McDivitt show.
for less than surprises, he was getting jammed a lot. So they said, let's put that barrel down because that's where you're making contact anyway.
That's certainly going to change the swing weight of the bat if you have more barrel down lower on the bat. So you're going to have to adjust your swing weight. So
found a way. And as you know, Rock, your bat is like your baby, right? You have to really get to know how your bat feels in your hands, and they had to learn how to swing bats. And
obviously, if you have a 34-inch, 32-ounce bat, evenly distributed, that's a pretty good swing weight. Now, if you have a barrel, more heavier weight up at the top, same weight, but distributed differently, it's going to be different to swing.
Handles are different.
You got to get used to that. So, yeah.
We saw talking a lot about the big handle that Bryce Terang uses, the hockey style puck on the bottom of the bat. Volpe to right, back free. He's got to play, makes the catch. Not this time for Anthony Volpe on that short porch. Well, Aaron Judge does it again. A 2-run homer in this first inning, and the Yankees have the lead as we go to the second.
Yeah. No comment. Man, folks.
How corrupt is Brad Schimmel? Let's count the ways. 1. Caught with child porn after the man's lawyer gave his campaign thousands of dollars. 2. Schimmel left 6,000 rape kits sit untested for years, then lied about it. 3.
Ah.
Now Elon Musk is
No
trying
count.
to get Schimmel a seat on the Supreme Court because he knows Schimmel always helps his big cat.
You're gonna be glad when this election is over.
He's way too corrupt for the Supreme Court. This is the legendary idea. This can could talk, but it tells stories. And if you have one, you probably got a story worth telling. Here's the 50 years military.
This is not a blue moon. Now it is. No, it's not. Now it is. No, it's not. Now it is. No, it's not. Now it is. A Valencia orange makes a blue moon, and everything a little brighter.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, there's lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Yankees back out in front. Brewers with the bottom third of their order. Mitchell, Ortiz, and Dunn. And Judge with another homer this weekend. Stroman ahead. One strike on Garrett Mitchell.
One strike and Garrett Mitchell.
Yesterday. Good straight start. Got hit by the pitch. His first AB. There's a protective guard on his right hand. It's on 2. As if he needs another injury, right? Right on the hand to get hit by the pitch. Everybody holding their breath. Got hit on the left wrist yesterday, so he is heavily packaged up there at the plate in this first AB against Stroman. Fouls it away. Stroman not only does a lot in terms of throws different pitches, but he is going to hesitate on you. He's going to switch up his leg kick. He'll short, strike you. Every now and again, give the old Louis Tia. He does that when he's really feeling good out there on the mound. There's that splitter's wipeout pitch. Those of you that remember Louis Tia. Kind of turns his back to the hitter and then comes around. Yeah. Could throw Johnny Cueto out there for a bit more home time. Yeah. Okay. Very similar styles. Throw a shimmy on occasion.
Yeah.
And strike 3.
Strike 3.
And Mitchell behind strikes. And good pitch. Looks like the corners are open today. Hitter's going to have to make the adjustment. This is a pretty good pitch. It's been called so far. Able to dot the eye on the corner. Joey Ortiz, slow roller, foul, third base side. Very subtle frame, too, from Austin Wells behind the plate. Used his body instead of the grab and snatch of the glove. It's a very subtle thing. Did your presentation?
Yeah.
Ortiz took it 0 for 5 yesterday, game 2. So it's in the air right, and you judge. The second out to that wind, pushing that thing towards the line. Oliver Dunn coming up. 2 up and 2 down for Stroman. The first start for Dunn, 41 games in the big leagues last year. Got hurt down in the minor leagues. Played winter ball. Good spring.
I got back to it.
Ground ball right side. Chisholm. Stroman makes the board of the Brewers. The top half of inning number 2.
The best call I ever made was to Brewer Law Offices. It was one call.
I mean,
You made that one
One call, that's all. Gruber lost it. One call, that's all. One call, that's all.
Verizon and AT&T announced price hikes a total of 10 times in the past 2 years. Doesn't that blow your mind? Families can switch to T-Mobile and get all the benefits of their plans while saving 20%. T-Mobile blows the competition away.
T-Mobile will also give you up to $800 when you switch.
Mind blown.
That's a jet engine. Go to T-Mobile.com. Save 20% and $800. That's right.
Sure. What's it like turning that many double play meal deals in one shift?
The team seemed to be clicking on all cylinders today. What are your thoughts?
How many double play meal deals are you shooting for next shift? Grab a double play meal deal. 7 satisfying cheeseburgers and 2 fries. Only at George Webb.
The season for what Get an 11% rebate on your entire boat spring building at Menards. For over 65 years, Menards has been the destination for boat spring building. Whether it's for protecting equipment or you just need a place to keep your toys, Menards has the boat spring building for you. Right now, save big money on white and bright white pro-rib steel roofing and siding. 100 square feet is just $79.99 after 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Series finale between the Brewers and the Yankees here at Yankee Stadium. And for Aaron Savali, he was acquired by the Brewers in July of last year. 14 starts, had a .356 earned run average. And he really appreciated the approach that pitching coach Chris Hook had with him and getting to know him. He said, I'm somebody that I value the relationship before I value the advice. So he said he and Chris Hook spent a lot of time getting to know each other. They put me in the driver's seat, Savali said, about how he wanted to prepare, game plan, work with William Contreras and Eric Haas, and then they presented the information and made the adjustments. So it was increased fastball usage, the cutter usage, as Jeff and Rocky guys talked about as well, and then started mixing in more of a slider and decreased the sweeper usage. So all of that together, he started to feel more like the best version of himself with a physical reset, a mental reset, put together a 5-game winning streak in August and pitched for the Brewers in the postseason. So he was really anxious to get going here this season with that familiarity already under his belt.
Thanks so much, Sophia. Rock, we talked about it with some of the interviews that Sophia did during spring training, that it was a relationship first, information second.
Makes a lot of sense. And I mean, there has to be a trust between player and coach before players are going to start listening to what's going on. So, Savali comes over here, so season with Tampa Bay, and the cutter really wasn't working for him. All of a sudden, Chris Hook, Jim Henderson, those guys, they watch a little bit what's going on with Savali, and then they make the recommendations, and they worked. As opposed to him coming over right away, starting to tell him things that this is what you should do, what you shouldn't do. A player's more apt to listen after he has established the relationship than doing it right away.
Striking out on Boston Wells, the cutter up in the zone. This is a big pitch for him. Not many people live with the cutter up in that zone, but Savali has success there.
They have 89 up and away. Typically, you like that pitch up and in.
Dominguez fouls the first one away again. Cutter up in the zone. In this day and age, with the launch angle and people changing their swings to go from low to high, people can have a lot of success in the top of the zone. Not a ton of velocity. Yes, it helps to have the velocity, but you can get a lot of outs up there in that 80 to 90, low 90s range.
Well, I think hitters are starting to make the adjustment a little bit. I think they're leveling up their swing a little bit more than they have in the last few years. They're starting to really get better contact on pitches up in the strike zone than they did early on.
So it popped up. Dunn fighting the wind, and he's able to make the catch on the warning track. Good play.
And you got to figure that baseball is going to get pushed all over the place today. The wind swirling. Just because you see the flag blowing in one direction, that does not mean that's the way the wind is affecting the baseball. In these enclosed stadiums like this, you just never know. You got to be on your toes.
Good play by Dunn. Good field awareness. Ben Rice, the hitter, he rolls it foul, looking for a quick inning. Savali, the 31 pitch first. Rice started on opening day, went 1 for 2 with a walk.
Yankees carrying 3 catchers. Unusual this day and age.
Rice to right. This one is headed into the bleachers. Second down for Ben Rice. Savannah got in trouble last year. It's because the long ball. He's given up 2 already this afternoon.
Yeah, that looked like it might have been the cutter down and in, and that's a no-no to a lefty. Unless you get him way down and way in, check it out. Watch where it ends up. That is sweet spot right there for a left-handed hitter. And he knocks it out of here, just drops ahead of the bat on it. Second deck.
3-1 down New York as Cabrera takes the strike. And the Yankees feasting on fastballs as they did yesterday. Just a touch on that.
Sure, it's 20 down.
Right field, sinking fast. Finally comes out and then catch. A Gold Glover a year ago. Saves extra bases. And gets Savali out of the inning. Sal Frelick, his first gem of 2025.
Is it just us, or does a sandwich taste a billion times better when someone else makes it for you? Food for thought. Keep the groove at your next gathering content with sweet and savory catering from the Chocolate Factory.
Tom and Kelly loved their house, except for all the things they didn't love about it. It needed less of this, and none of that. So they came to Landmark Credit Union. We showed them how their dream home was totally doable with a great rate on a home equity line of credit. Getting them set up was a breeze, kind of like the one blowing off their new balcony. Welcome to Home Sweeter Home. Landmark Credit Union. Banking made easy.
Some people judge a book by its cover, and if you're not what people are looking for, you're kind of like a reach.
At school, it feels like everyone's staring at me, and I'm just kind of not really a person. Sometimes I can't believe that you could be proud of me if I'm not proud of myself.
It just feels hard today. Nobody was listening to me.
Think of our best times together. Let's do more of that.
And you'll try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at SendItOutTogether.org.
3-1 Yankees, top of the third. Nestor Cortez there chatting with one of the local photographers. In between innings, was recognized for his long tenure with the Yankees.
Fan favorite here, no doubt. That's really good years here. I mean, his earned run average at Yankee Stadium as a Yankee, stellar, under 3. Rough day for him yesterday.
It was not the greeting that he wanted to have back in his old ballpark. Look for Nestor Cortez. It will be better days ahead, there's no doubt. Bryce Terang, a run scored, a base hit, steal. Serves one foul, third base side. Go downstairs, Sophia Benner with Nestor Cortez. I mean, you have an outing like that, sometimes you have to face the music, and that's exactly what Nestor did earlier today.
Yeah, he spoke with the media earlier today, and he did not make any excuses for how yesterday went. And said obviously it was a pretty brutal return to Yankee Stadium for him, allowing the 5 walks, the 5 home runs, and just how the game started for him, and how the Yankees ambushed him. And he took some accountability there. He said, look, obviously I was facing my former team. I can't say that that was part of it. Yes, they're very familiar with how I want to pitch. Those first 3 home runs coming fastball, cutter. He said, I didn't make the adjustment, and I should have. He just wasn't able to make the adjustment fast enough. So he did insist. You remember there was a visit to the mound by the training staff in that first inning. He did say he feels fine physically. He didn't feel that there was an injury or that was a factor at all. So he didn't make any excuses for how yesterday went. He said obviously it was not his best day, but he's ready to turn the page and get ready for this next appearance.
He's going to be a good start for the Brewers. I mean, you just have to flush that one. As a team, as an individual, just forget about it. Go get them today.
Off the end of the bat to the third, Cabrera. Throws that place to right.
Brewers are going to need him. The pitching plan is in flux, at least for the first couple of weeks. We chronicled it yesterday with Jose Quintana unavailable until at least the 11th of April because he's starting the season in AAA. Option down, they're going to be down there for 15 days. And Tobias Myers is on the mend. Pitching plan for tomorrow and Tuesday has been established. But you're going to have to work this thing for the first 2 weeks of the season.
Then you wonder when Brandon Woodruff's going to be back. I would imagine it's going to be a while for him. He did throw an inning in spring training, looked good.
Swinging and a miss.
You hope, given the starting rotation situation that the Brewers are in, where you get a lot of guys hurt, that Woody doesn't want to rush himself back. It's the last thing you want to see.
You have to imagine they are going to be very cautious with his usage, too. That was 0 innings last year. You can't just go straight to 150 innings. It's a lot for a pitcher in today's sport. I mean, back in the day, your 5th starter was, all right, he's going to be the 200 innings. That's an ace right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's many guys reached the 200 inning mark.
Ah.
Yeah, Cheerios swings and misses.
Cheerios. Right.
Let's go back down to Silva
Good.
with an update on Tobias Myers.
Starting the season on the IL with the left oblique strain, but took a good step forward today. He threw a bullpen, 2 ups for him. He told me just before the game started he was hoping to get up above 30 pitches. He said he felt great, so that's good news for him. The next plan for him, he's going to throw a 2-inning, or if not more, a live game on Thursday when the team is home in Milwaukee. And he said if that goes well, he's hoping to start a minor league rehab assignment. So everything trending in the right direction for Tobias Myers.
That is good news. Thank you, Sophia.
And it's good that he felt good today, but how's he going to feel tomorrow or the next day, right?
Yeah.
Got to take him slow. Pretty much starting from scratch, right?
Right. Got to build right back up again. Ball strike on Yelich, flying to right his first time. 2-1 on Christian.
2-1.
1 for his first 8 to start the season. Back to a breaking ball for a strike.
Back to a breaking ball.
13 lifetime against Stroman now for home run.
It's kind of refreshing to see 2 guys going at it, very similar styles, right? You're not looking at 95, 96. Looking in the low 90s, upper 80s.
Now the way guys are pitching.
Yeah, they're pitching and
Power tip.
back a little bit. Cut it here, turn it over here. It's kind of back in the old days.
I think if you ask hitters in today's age, or even when you played rock, you'd rather face a guy that is firm and flat as opposed to something that's moving. Straight fastballs are easy to hit.
Especially if that's all they had.
3-2 on the ground sharply to Chisholm. It's an even 3 up and 3 down the name of 4.
3 up. 3 down.
Schimmel is corrupt. I will do anything to get on the Supreme Court. I am to invest in the past.
Commercial.
begging people, please, please, please. And who did he beg? Elon Musk, a man who needs a guaranteed vote on the Supreme Court because his company is suing the state of Wisconsin.
Every single player, the fans get into it. Already can smell the rocks and rolling out stuff. First time, you still get that when you're here with it. It's gone. Promote the drill. Get ball to the stress and the fastball.
Nah.
Rocklet's go inside the play, brought to you by Prater, the Medical College of Wisconsin. Science Thomas last year from South Real. Yeah, well, go over it. Maybe we saw him do it all the time. Now we can go back to the baseball, take away home run. Doing a nice job coming in, taking away a base hit, and ending the inning. You know, the way he stretched out and had his shoulder out like that, you just wonder. I mean, this kind of weather, you have to make sure you're good loose. I mean, you got to stretch in between innings. You got to make sure you're ready to go because in weather like this game started with the weather at 44 degrees. I mean, it's easy to pull a muscle.
40-degree difference from yesterday.
Shot right there.
And you're coming from the last 2 months in Arizona. It's totally different.
85, 90 degrees, right? Beautiful weather.
Easy to get loose of that type of weather.
Yeah.
The Brewers, when they go home tomorrow for the home opener against Kansas City, finish with 4 over the weekend against Cincinnati. And get the roof. Be nice inside. Goldschmidt, slow roller to third. Done with time. Throws him out.
Out.
A good bit that time by Savali. Had a Goldschmidt up front. Nice play by Dunn, making his first start today.
Very underrated glove from Oliver Dunn. Can play third, can play second for you if you need it.
Benny Capper has played a nice third base first 2 games of this series.
Strike right there.
In good shape. Remember last year, the whole conversation was Joey Ortiz going to be able to handle third base every day. That was the answer. 2 guys that are going to play third at least at the beginning of the season with Dunn and Benny Capra, more than held their own.
Go 2 on Bellinger. And now you got Joey Ortiz playing a new position. Of course, throughout his minor league career, more of a shortstop than a third baseman, but up the middle, I think the Brewers are going to be able to handle it nicely.
When you're building a team, you want your strength of your defense to go up the middle, right? Catcher, short, second, center fielder.
Yeah.
Brewers, yeah.
One, 2 to Bellinger.
Ball.
They're taking nothing away from Reese Hoskins, but the defensive lineman right now might be the best the Brewers have.
Two and two stays.
2 and 2.
So Jake Backers makes an incredible play a year ago. Had good range. He's got good hands, picking short ops.
Shallow left, long run, Churio, and it's foul. Don't hit the tarp hard. And the ball attendant was trying to get out of the way, too.
He did a good job getting out of the way. Well done. bucket with you. Yep, see with the bucket? That's nice. See, you don't want to play and run it into the bucket. The bucket, get out of dodge. We see the play in too.
Yeah.
Fouled by Bellinger. Big curveball by Savali.
Fouled.
Ball's in down there. She's got to be thinking, I got to get out of here. But which way do I need to go? Do I need to go towards the dugout? Do I need to go towards the outfield? It's pushing in. Don't you think they should have a chair for him down there? I think so. Bellinger, high fly to right. Freeland now coming in.
Freeland.
Makes the catch. Judge, come on, PNC Bank.
Thanks for the one.